The NFL is on EA Sports, and we're at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Buffalo Bills. Tyler Bass about ready to get us going. And off we go from Tampa. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Once again show you why he's already proven that he's better than Sam Darnold. I'm not convinced Sam Darnold is even going to be the quarterback of the Panthers next year. And if I could ask one last question, does Baker Mayfield really want to go to another potential clown show in Carolina? No! Baker Mayfield wants the job. So let's just think what you just said. Robbie Anderson has never been to the Pro Bowl. Robbie Anderson has never played in a playoff game. He doesn't think Baker Mayfield can improve his chances of doing it. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here, up to the 34.
Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. The give is to Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
I don't know how he did it. He went 8-3 through 20 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, and went and won Cleveland's first playoff game ever in Pittsburgh against the arch rival. In 26 years, they'd never won a playoff game until that day, and Baker Mayfield had a QBR of 91. No, says Robbie. Why? Do you even know what you're talking about, Robbie?
Skip, I don't know why you expect someone to continue to come to your restaurant when you serve only one dish. The only dish that you got is that he had an 11-game stretch in which he was this or that, and they won a playoff game. That's the only thing that you have on your menu.
No.
At some point in time, your restaurant's going to go out of business if that's all you have. If all you serve is shepherd's pie, your shepherd's pie can't be good enough. You got to serve something else. You got to give me something else other than shepherd's pie, because that's what Baker Mayfield is. He's shepherd's pie. He's an acquired taste. Everybody don't like shepherd's pie. I personally don't like shepherd's pie. You obviously love shepherd's pie.
I don't even know what shepherd's pie is. Is it a British dish? Or I don't know. I've been to England several times, but I don't even know shepherd's pie. But whatever. My restaurant serves only playoff pie, and it serves QBR of 91 pie, so it's a 91. That means my restaurant has a 5-star rating, and it's in business. It's booming. Business is booming, and Baker's business will boom when he gets his next job at his next stop. And right now, the Cleveland Browns, the clown show, is backed into a corner. Everybody's just waiting for them to fold their tent and fold their cards and fold their hand and give Baker to the team of choice, which I believe will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then I can't wait to come in here Monday after Monday after Monday and watch you eat crow over Baker Mayfield, which you will.
Well, due to the Cleveland Browns said, due to the anemic offense led by our quarterback, we were about to go out of business. So what we did is that we got a PPP loan, and we got us old Deshaun Watson, and now we right back in business. Business is booming again, baby, in Cleveland.
The sack on the first play of this drive.
You were wrong about Sam Darnold. They were wrong about Sam Darnold. The Jets were wrong about Sam Darnold. And I think I was right about Baker Mayfield, because you also sweep under your little carpet that I'm sure you took with you to Indianapolis, that as a rookie, after he finally got to start, after Hugh Jackson wouldn't let him start the first couple of games, all he did was win 7 games for a team that went 0-16 the previous year. And he lit it up to the point that Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp is saying, shake and bake, baby. I'm driving the train for Baker Mayfield. Well, that was one good year. And then guess what? They strapped him with Odell. And it created big problems for Baker Mayfield as he force-fed the ball to an Odell who's a shell of himself coming from the Giants to the Browns.
Think about what you just said, Skip. They go 0-16, so clearly they're going to play a bull jive schedule. Okay, they win 7 games, and now they got to play a better schedule. What happened?
Well, yeah. Do you realize that Baker Mayfield had the 3rd most big-time throws for the whole year? He had 47 throws as a raw rookie in the National Football League. And you say he's a bust. And I want everybody to know that Shannon Sharp is writing off Baker Mayfield as a bust. And Shannon Sharp is hanging his hat on what Robbie Anderson tweets about Baker Mayfield. Way to go. Congratulations. That's all you got.
Robbie Anderson tweeted what he tweeted. Shannon Sharp has said what he said. But the mere fact that he's about to do something that only Jeff George and Jamarcus Russell have done since the merger, that's not a class that you want to be in.
All I know is the irony of this. What makes me LOL about this is that Baker Mayfield at Oklahoma and in his first really 3 years in Cleveland was known as a player's quarterback. He was the hit of the locker room. He was the Pied Piper at Oklahoma, and I think he was becoming the Pied Piper leader of the Browns. And you can't be a poor leader and lead a team to 8-3 down the stretch and a playoff win at Pittsburgh. So I think a lot of Browns who love Baker Mayfield are biting their tongue and their lip right now because they can't say anything publicly to support Baker because he's clearly about to not be a Cleveland Brown. And you got to look like you're supporting Deshaun because you should. Because Deshaun is better than Baker, but that doesn't mean Baker isn't very good.
But here's the thing, Skip. What it shows me is that when things are perfect, yes, Baker Mayfield, as long as Chubb and Hunt can run the football and that defense is creating short fields, Baker Mayfield can be good. But what happens when they neutralize your running game? What happens when you got to get into a shootout? Then what does Baker do?
Well, you can say that about a lot of quarterbacks, but I saw 20 really good touchdown passes. We don't have time for me to show you again, but every time I show them, I know you cringe because you start to think, uh-oh, he's right.
The guys are wide open. They're not tight window throws. The guys are wide
several
open.
tight window rockets that he throws.
Cleveland Browns closed the window on Baker.
Yeah,
He can't even get back in the house.
Yeah, well, last year even you said he shouldn't have been playing because he had a torn labor in his left shoulder and a fractured left shoulder, both of which required surgery after the season to fix. And we disqualify all that we saw or didn't see from Baker last year.
No. I saw 6 on the field. I saw Mayfield on the back of that jersey. He chose to put bad tape out there. Now he got to live with that.
Well, all I know is I'll ask the final question. Will Shannon Sharp ultimately be proven right about Baker Mayfield?
I'm already right, Skip. I've been pretty Skip. I proved it.
Imitating y'all when I watched today's show back. Thank you very much for that. I think Robbie Anderson probably wants to have Cam Newton back in Carolina.
Let's go, Robbie.
All right,
Let's go, Robbie.
Back to the NBA court. Can Ice Trae get hot versus the Heat? Stay tuned.
You gonna need some.
And the Bills are going to recover. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
Bro, Big Al, I mean, it's going to be very difficult to get that shot.
You have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here.
The 7th-seeded Timberwolves stunned the number 2 seed Grizzlies in Game 1 as they secured the victory 130-117 Saturday. It was his first playoff game. Anthony Edwards made it count. He led all scorers with 36 points. Now Minnesota looks to take a 2-0 series lead tomorrow night. Shannon, what do you think? Is Game 2 a do-or-die for the Memphis Grizzlies?
It is, because Skip, they don't have the veteran. They're not a team that's been in this position before. I can see if they were Milwaukee. Milwaukee goes down 0-2 last year to the Brooklyn Nets. Were able to dig out of that hole. They go down 0-2 to the Phoenix Suns. They're able to dig out of that hole because they're a veteran-laden ball club. Or the Golden State Warriors, teams that have been together for an extremely long period of time, that's been battle-tested. They go down 0-2, Skip. I'm not sure Memphis has been together long enough to have the wherewithal to try to come back and beat this team. Skip. Minnesota has more. I don't, because Skip, we don't watch Minnesota. We don't really talk about Minnesota that much unless Karl Anthony Towns gives you 60, when he gave us about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Or Ant-Man dunks on somebody. Skip, they put 6 guys in double figures. They had Ant-Man with 36. Karl Anthony Towns had 29 and 13, and they let Malik Beasley go get 23. D'Angelo Russell didn't play very well. So you got Karl Anthony Towns, who's been an all-star. D'Angelo Russell, who's been an all-star. Anthony Edwards is just a matter of time before he becomes an all-star. They have offensive firepower, and when you allow them to get up and down in every run that Memphis sent at them, they sequestered it. They blocked it out. They said, no, we will not lose this ball game today, Skip. Anthony Edwards, we saw Skip the play-in game, and we saw so back-to-back 30-point games for, I don't know what they call a play-in, Skip. It's not a regular season. It's almost like it doesn't even happen, so because nobody gets the stats from those games. But we watched him against the Clippers. We watched him in his first playoff game, Skip, go get 36, one of the for a playoff debut, one of the best playoff debuts in NBA history. So we know he's the #1 overall pick, so we know what he represents. Karl Anthony Towns was a monster. We know what he's more than capable of doing. Skip, Memphis, this is a must-win for the Memphis Grizzlies. I do not believe they can go down 0-2 and come back against Minnesota, because Minnesota now are starting to believe that they belong. Hold on, this is not a surprise to us. We should be here. Look at the talent we got. We got 2 #1 overall draft picks. D'Angelo Russell, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, was a #2 overall draft pick. So it's not like they're getting guys in the 20s that was drafted in the 20s. It's not like they're getting free agents. These are high quality players. Memphis, you better win this game. Now, I think a lot of it had to do with Jared Jackson got in foul trouble. Dillon Brooks played well, but he was in foul trouble. John was inefficient, but he got to the free throw line 20 times. Skip, they're going to have to play a lot better. They gave up a 41-point first quarter, a 32-point third, and a 33-point fourth. That won't get it done. They're a better defense. They're a top defensive team, and they just let Minnesota go get a $130 on them in their building.
Okay, so as I made my picks on Friday when you were sitting across from me, I told you I'm going to tiptoe out to the end of the limb, and I can hear it creaking underneath me. This skinny little limb that I'm on is creaking and cracking underneath me because I'm going to plunge, and I picked the Memphis Grizzlies, the team I have loved all year long, to win the West. After what I saw from Phoenix last night, that seems dubious at best at this moment. But I must admit, I wasn't stunned by what I saw on Saturday at Memphis, but I was surprised. And the reason I wasn't stunned is because of Minnesota.
Escaping the pressure right.
They're arriving right before your very eyes. We saw it. We saw it in the play-in. We saw who they are. We saw what Pat Bev means to them, because they're a young team with an old head who knows how to play and has shown them not to be afraid. And Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, is arriving right before your very eyes with his swagger, with his presence, with his body language. As he said the other night about the Clippers, he said they were afraid to guard me, meaning they were afraid of me. And I'm not sure they were afraid, but he is striking fear in everybody he plays, because you can just see by the dribble he gets more supremely confident in what he has to work with. He's got an NFL body, and he's growing up right before your very eyes. He's learning how to play. I watched him a lot at Georgia, and I didn't love him because he didn't shoot it very well. Well, he's starting to shoot it better and better. This year he went from 33% his rookie year from 3. Now he's up to 36. It's barely passable. It works for him because he is so powerful and so physical and so athletic. And free throws, he's up now to 79%. It's not great, but it's workable, it's passable. And so the other day we're watching, I'm sitting back saying, he's just too good for them right now because he came out ready to play. Carl Anthony came out after, obviously, an off game against the Clippers, ready to play. Malik Beasley was ready to play. And they were all readier to play than Memphis was. And I know John watches our show. Maybe a lot of them watch our show. And I started thinking, do I bear some responsibility here? Because when I pick him to win the West, I envision John sitting back saying, yeah, we got this. We got an easy opening round opponent in Minnesota. And, yeah, they come out and fail to match the edge, the intensity, the physicality, and the sheer RPM that Minnesota was playing at coming out of the Clippers blowout win. It ended up a blowout win in the fourth quarter, obviously. So, to me, Ja started off fine because he made 4 of his first 5. Then he goes through a stretch where he misses 9 of his next 10 shots, and that was the stretch Minnesota just took the game over. And once they took it over, there was no looking back. And even in the fourth quarter, Memphis goes 1 of 7 from 3, while the T-Wolves kept making, they made 5 out of 14, and that's why they were able to win the fourth quarter and pull away in the game where they won 33 to 25. Well, in the end, they're so deep that you couldn't even see their depth the other day because it got overshadowed by the arriving firepower of the visiting team. And I saw a quote from Anthony Edwards after the game. He said, yeah, what I love about it here is, speaking of trash talk, he said, we hear a whole lot of trash talk from the Memphis fans. And it seemed more sort of affable, more, more sort of G-rated.
The kids be getting involved.
Yeah.
You say the kids be getting involved.
The kids, that's what he said, the kids are getting involved. But he says, we're feeding off it because we're built for it because they like to talk their noise also. So Memphis talks, T-Wolves talk back, and Shannon, I cannot exaggerate enough how much it means to a younger team to have Patrick Beverley on your side in a game like that. Because he's making plays all over the floor, he's getting under skin all over the floor, he's irritating, he's annoying, he's disrupting, he's distracting, and he makes big little plays down the stretch that just turn the tide. I don't know. They are a force to be reckoned with. And so back to your point, yeah, I picked them. And tonight, it's not only a must-win, it's a cannot lose. You cannot lose this game because I don't see how this team could then go up to Minnesota and win a game or two. What do we see last year? The one team you left out was the team I liked, the Clippers. Well, obviously, they lose to Dallas games 1 and 2 at then Staples Center. And remember, they go to Dallas on Friday night and Sunday, and they win games 3 and 4. Well, guess who? They had Kawhi Leonard, who's been a Finals MVP and has won rings, obviously, with the Spurs. And they had Paul George, who had turned back into playoff Pete. Well, he's a veteran player with superstar talent, and those two alone just rose above Luka and said, we got this. Well, help me out. Do I see a Kawhi or a Paul George? No, the Grizzlies, I don't. Not yet.
No. You're right. And Reggie Jackson has been in the playoffs and played well in big moments.
Huge for the Thunder.
I think the mistake sometimes young teams make is that they rely too much on their crowd. And they're like, okay, our crowd will get us back into the ball game, or our crowd will take them out of the ball game instead of coming out playing. They did not match the intensity in which I guess they thought that Minnesota was just happy to be there.
Yeah.
Say, oh yeah, we wanted to play in tournament. We just happy to be here. No, they believe Ant-Man. They believe that they can win a playoff series. They believe that they can go far. When you look at the talent and you hear them talk. Skip, Carl Anthony Towns, when he comes to play, He's the third best big in basketball. I'm not taking him over Yoke. I'm not taking him over Embiid. But I'm not taking any other big man over him.
No.
I'm not taking Gobert. I'm not taking any other big man over Cat. Anthony Edwards, Skip, and I love Melo. But Melo can't touch this guy offensively. This kid has supreme athleticism. He's unafraid of anybody. And when he gets the ball in his hands, he says, I can rise up over you and shoot it, or I can blow past you and dunk it on your head. So he's playing with extreme confidence. And you mentioned Malik Beasley. They got guys that fit, that understand their role. Pat Bev understands his role. My job is to be an irritant, get 75% of the 50-50 ball, grab a rebound, hit a key layup, maybe a big three here and there. That's his job. He understands it. He embraces it. But those two big guns, Ant-Man and Cat, they are to deal with. They are a load.
They're a load. And by the way, I'm going to throw this factor in. Now that Alex Rodriguez is an owner of the T-Wolves, I think it empowers the players to think he's on our side.
The Clippers start another offseason asking, what if? Kawhi missed the entire year recovering from that ACL injury. Then Paul George missed that must-win game this weekend as questions about the team's title window were being asked. Okay, Shannon, you beat Skip out of 3 cases of Diet Dew on Friday. You think you need to rescind the bet, though, because Paul George didn't play?
No. And unlike that guy that bought Tom Brady's last touchdown ball that he thought it was the last, and he ended up getting his money back, Skip, you will not get these 3 cases of Dew back. I told you I'm going to get my Dew back case by case because you just can't help yourself. The problem is, Skip.
What?
No,
I can't help myself. I didn't know Paul George was not going to play.
What you want me to tell you, Skip? What you want me?
I got snookered. I think you knew during the show. I think you knew.
Ain't nobody knew. Is Vegas refunding any money? If Vegas refund money, I'll refund your due. Is Vegas doing that?
I don't know. I didn't ask. I think you should rescind the bet. You should refund my cases. I mean, obviously, I would not have made the bet if I thought playoff P was not going to play.
Well, he was absent.
Playoff P lost it, went completely over the edge, was having depression problems.
But guess what, Skip? If I'm going to go home, I'm going to leave with something. If I go on a vacation, if I go to the beach, I'm going to bring a seashell back. If I go to somewhere overseas, I'm going to bring something back to let the people know I was there.
Yeah.
The Lakers said, if we got to be here, I might as well bring an NBA title back to let them know I was here.
You were the last team standing in the bubble. It was bubble-licious, but it has a big asterisk beside it. And yet, this year, the Clippers at least made the play-in tournament as opposed to LeBron and the Lakers. I don't know what happened to them. They missed it all.
Where are those stats? For the play-in, are they regular season stats or are they playoff stats?
Well,
guess what?
The only stat I care about is I'm up like 100 cases of Diet Dew on you, even for just this year, 97, because you stole 3 cases from me because I got snookered. I would not have made that bet if you told me Paul George was not going to play, and if he had played, he would have closed that game. What were they up, like 13 early in the 4th quarter? He would have closed it because he's been playing like playoff P. So for the first time, you can say that COVID was your friend, Shannon Sharp, because only COVID is the reason that you won the 3 cases off me. Snookered me.
You know what? I want to know what people are saying. Well, would you consider Anthony Davis and LeBron's tenure in the Lakers a success? Well, if AD and LeBron isn't a success, what the hell is Paul George and Kawhi?
All I got to tell you is if Kawhi gets as healthy as I'm told that he will get off this surgery, and Paul George can stay healthy next year, the Clippers will be the team to beat in the Western Conference. Book it. Book it.
Think about what you just said. If Paul George can stay healthy, if Kawhi Leonard can stay healthy,
they will.
When has Kawhi stayed healthy?
Next year.
Okay,
that's when.
Say no more, fam.
We will find out. All right, gentlemen. Was this weekend the start of T.O.'s comeback? Skip and Shannon react. You don't want to miss it. Stick around.
And no move
The
to take the
Celtics
offense on
took game one against the Nets 115-114 as Jason Tatum spun to the basket for a game-winning layup as time expired. Meanwhile, Kevin Durant, he scored an inefficient 23 points. He needed 24 shots to get there. He also had a handful of turnovers. Shannon, what percentage of the blame does KD deserve for this loss?
I'm going to give him 75% because if I believe KD plays a C-minus ball game, they win this ball game, Skip. As Jen mentioned in the read, he had more shots than Paul.
That took place this weekend in the NBA. I saw a new young star in Anthony Edwards. I saw John Morant fall. I saw Steph Curry and Klay Thompson in the lineup, but Jordan Poole, who was in the G League last year, put on a show. And I saw, yes, I'll say it, Kyrie Irving put on a show. Not just during the game, but after the game as well. Stephen A. Molly. Big Perk in the house, like Todd Perk, like a Todd.
About 7 minutes as Jock started the Green Bay offense at the line. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it into six. And they hope it'll be that easy, right?
The TD Garden has become a hostile place for Kyrie Irving.
Embrace it. Embrace it. It's the dark side. Embrace it.
Irving, step back three. Puts it in. What a block. What a masterpiece from Kyrie Irving.
The only thing you got to do is just try to figure it out. When you do that, it feels good. It feels really good.
Jaylen Brown kicks it out. Smart fakes inside. Tatum spins and he puts it in. And what a thrilling finish to game one of what could be one of the all-time series.
Good day. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday weekend. Kendrick Perkins, top of the morning to you, sir. Stephen A., good morning from the West Coast. I'm Molly Karam, and gentlemen, a lot of playoffs to get into, so let's do it. What a game. Jason Tatum's buzzer-beating layup gave the Boston Celtics a dramatic 115-114 win over the Brooklyn Nets. Kirk loved it in their series opener on Saturday. Tatum scored 16 of his 31 points in the second half, along with adding 8 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a steal. Meanwhile, Kyrie back in the city he left, and Boston fans salty. More on that in just a second. Irving scored a game-high 39 points for the Nets. Kevin Durant put up 23, but went 9 of 24 from the floor, including some open trailing looks in transition. Kyrie flipping off the Celtics crowd on 2 separate occasions. Boston fans do not play, booing at every shot they got. Kyrie had that big energy Sunday, matching the fans' intensity. I'll let him explain.
You know, it's nothing new when I come into this building where it's going to be like, but it's the same energy they have for me, and I'm going to have the same energy for them. And it's not every fan. I don't want to attack every fan, every Boston fan, but, you know, when people start yelling, these and all this stuff, there's but so much you can take as a competitor. And, you know, we're the ones expected to be docile, be humble, and take a humble approach. That's the playoffs. This is what it is.
From a basketball standpoint,
yeah.
You feel like the hostility you get.
There's no hostility, bro. It's basketball.
You were flicking some people off. I'd say that's some hostility.
From what? What point? Are you guessing that that's hostility? Or like, hostility for me is like growing up.
Well, we've never seen that from you this season where you are running down the floor flipping people off.
This is the first time you actually caught it because it's a big time game. I respond in different ways. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to focus on that. If you want to ask me questions about the fans, go ask them. Go on the street and ask them questions.
So I'm asking from your perspective, from a basketball perspective, do you feel like the hostility that you get?
It's not hostility, bro.
Do you feel like the energy you get from fans in this building?
Embrace it. Embrace it. Embrace it. It's the dark side. Embrace it.
Nick not backing down there either. Embrace it, SA. It's the dark side. Bigger headline, Kyrie scoring or that fan banter?
Well, I'm going to say it's a pick as far as I'm concerned because he was absolutely sensational, and I'm not going to deflate the performance that he put on by saying that what happened in the aftermath of it, is something that it takes away from the performance because it does not. He was absolutely sensational, and he deserves a lot of credit. Should he have done that? Here's the problem. No, because obviously he's going to get fined by the league. Knowing the league and its rules and stipulations, he deserves to be fined. But I have to tell you this. Are you ready for this, KP? I completely support Kyrie Irving on this. 1,000%. I found absolutely positively no problem with what Kyrie Irving did whatsoever. The fact of the matter is the fans were coming at it. They were bringing that mess. No, I don't condone violence. I don't condone you going and attacking fans and all of that other stuff. But you know what? He knew when he flipped the bird at the fans that he knows he's going to get fined. He made a decision, I don't care. And the reason why he said I don't care is because of what they were subjecting him to. I'm sorry. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Not even a little bit. The fact of the matter is that he didn't impede the game. As a matter of fact, he made the game even better. He went on, and while he was flipping them the bird, he was busting their lips. And you know what? That's what he was doing. He wasn't sitting up there and having to be restrained and getting into all engaging in histrionics and having to be restrained and all of this. That's not what happened. Kyrie Irving was looking at them after one jumper after another, one layup after another, one dance move after another on Marcus Smart or Tatum or whoever the hell was trying to guard him. He was doing what the fans did to him because they brought the smoke. So he said, let's get it on. And what he was doing was basically replicating what's emblematic of what transpires on the playground and beyond. Excuse me, you want to talk some smack? I'm not going to fight you or anything. This isn't a boxing match. This is a basketball game. But you want to talk smack at me? I'm going to talk it at you. Now, they have justification in terms of why they have the vitriol they do have for him because he was there. He wasn't at his best when he was there. He told them he wanted to stay, and then he departed. So they really love it. They really hate the fact that they love him so much, and he's no longer wearing a Boston Celtics uniform. That's really what this is about, because a sensational talent like that, you wanted your uniform as opposed to the opposition. But all of these people out here that are going to try to use this to go up against Kyrie Irving, I got things against Kyrie Irving. We know where my position is. The damn man misses too many games. All right? And by the way, this is exactly for people out there that think that, oh, every time he scored, every time he puts on a show, that makes Stephen A look bad. No, you fools. It actually makes me look good. It buffers my point. This is what I want to see all the time. I don't want to see that 20, 23 games a year. I want to see this brother walking through the turnstiles and putting on the majestic performances few people on this planet have ever been capable of putting on display like he does. I stand here this morning completely supporting Kyrie Irving defending himself against that shrapnel of vitriol that was thrown in his direction. You Boston, your team has to do something about it, because clearly as a fan base, you can't do much about it because you can't play against Kyrie Irving. You need the Celtics to help you. And yesterday, they seemed ill-equipped to deal with that brother. I like it. It didn't bother me one bit because he explained himself in the post-game conference, KP. He talked about what they were saying to him. I understand exactly where he's coming from, and this is not a day that I'm going to go against Kyrie Irving on this.
Well, it's hard, too, to go against him, Stephen A. Look, here's the thing, right? I spent 8.5 years in Boston. I won the championship there. I love the energy there. They have one of the best, if not the best, fan base in basketball.
I say this, listen, we all know that the city of Boston has had its share of criticism. People have pointed the finger at their fan base, etc. I'm here to tell you, as somebody that's been in Boston many times, for many games, I love their fan base. I love the energy. I love the vitriol they throw in the direction of fans and all of this other stuff. The few bad apples that take it a step further and all of that other stuff, that's a different discussion for another day. But that is not representative of the Boston fan base inside a TD Bank or the old Boston Garden. The fact that they bring that level of fervor and hostility for the visitors is a beautiful, beautiful thing for the home team. It's a beautiful thing for the Celtic fan base. I love the fact that they are that way. But in the same breath, I will piggyback off of what you said. Kyrie Irving is a different breed. Let me be more direct with this, KP. Kyrie Irving ain't been... He ain't phased by that stuff, okay? That emboldens him, that fuels him. I'm in Philadelphia when Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn shows up for the first time to go up against James Harden, when there were stories percolated, and it wasn't from some blogosphere, Kevin Durant or anybody else. It was from newspaper reports all over the country about Kyrie Irving and James Harden. That wasn't just one blogger or some satire or whatever that was coming on. The Philadelphia media was talking about that stuff as well. Kyrie Irving, and not only that, you also saw the backdrop that Ben Simmons had to deal with just when he was walking to the team bus and the vitriol that was thrown in his direction. Kyrie and KD rolled up in Philadelphia and said, we're going to shut this down. That's what they did. They're built like that. They're made of that cloth when it comes to the sport of basketball. So again, Kyrie Irving is going to be fine because if you're the NBA, you can't condone that visual that he provided, and we understand that. But I think it's important to recognize Kyrie Irving is fully aware that he's going to be fine. Kyrie Irving didn't care because Kyrie Irving saying this is a different animal, and I'm going to show you a different animal in me. I'm coming for y'all, and you better beware. And then he went on the court and put on a show. And if that Kyrie Irving shows up for the rest of this series, I am very confident in my pick that Brooklyn will end up winning this series in 7 games. Because what you saw from Kevin Durant last night, you ain't going to see it, or yesterday afternoon, you ain't going to see that. You ain't going to see that.
Well, Stephen A., you're right. And listen, let me take it another notch, okay? Watching that game last night and watching Kyrie Irving, to me, it was like watching Kobe Bryant all over. And not just the skill set. I'm talking about the killer mentality, where you could see it in Kyrie's eyes, right? The mentality. And so when I'm looking at it, I'm like, hold on. Like, this dude right here, man, I'm like, you have to have a different type of mental, a different type of psyche when you walk into that environment knowing. But then you got to look at who was guarding him. Molly, you looking at Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Those three guys are elite perimeter defenders, and they didn't have an answer for him last night. I'm telling you, look, this guy Kyrie Irving, he's just on a different level.
No question. When you talk about Kobe was his mentor, right? That's who he idolized. But let's get into the defense a little more. And guys, I mentioned this earlier. So Kevin Durant put up 23 points, but went 9 of 24 from the floor. Rarely does KD have to point the finger at himself. KD, how was the Boston defense to manage?
Opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Forcing me away and helping them pain. I just got to be more fundamental in my moves. Just feel like some shots went in and out for me today, but I still got to be. I play fast, turn the ball up. I mean, I just got to slow down and play my game. But they did a good job of making me see bodies.
Perk, you started to touch on it. Let's delve deeper. Was the Celtics defense just too physical for KD?
Right? Go for two.
Molly, Stephen A. Look, KD got pumped yesterday. And for the first time, I haven't seen this Kevin Durant in a long time. Yes, when I look at what Grant Williams and Jason Tatum was doing to him, they were getting physical. They were pushing him off the spot. KD was flailing and flopping everywhere. And you know what? Jason Tatum took ownership of actually guarding him yesterday. For the first time since Giannis Antetokounmpo, I've never seen anybody guard Kevin Durant straight up and block his shot. Now, look, would KD struggle the entire series? Probably not. I'm guessing he won't. I've seen this movie before. But last night, yesterday's game, KD got exposed on the from the physicality aspect. They were physical. They were bumping him. They were into him. They were frustrating him. And those turnovers weren't just careless turnovers, Stephen A. They were forced turnovers, active hands, getting into his body. So you can roll your eyes and you can start. If you want to go there today, that's fine with me. But the fact of the matter is they were into Kevin Durant yesterday. That's what it is, Stephen A.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You have been around too long. You have watched too much basketball. You have participated in too much basketball to use the word pump when it comes to Kevin Durant and his offensive prowess. If somebody pushed him around and they were scoring a bunch of points on him and stuff like that, that would be different. But from an offensive standpoint, you know good and damn well Kevin Durant did not get punked. That is asinine, okay? The fact of the matter is, Kevin Durant started off the game. I would get where you're coming from if all of a sudden the fourth quarter rolled around, the game got tight, and Kevin Durant suddenly performed that way. Kevin Durant was off from opening tap. Shots that he normally made, he missed. He was elevating. There were times that the shots were contested. There were other times that he had boogied on somebody, got enough space to get his shot off, and missed shots we see him make all day long. He had an off day. This is one of the most efficient offensive superstars we have ever seen in our lifetime. He had an off day. He had like 3 turnovers in the first few minutes of the game, for crying out loud. Like he said, he was playing too fast. He needed to slow down. That's all that it was. To sit up there and to say that Kevin Durant got punked. Kevin Durant, of all people, considering what he brings to the table offensively, that he got punked by anybody. Anybody. This is a brother that can drop 50 in his sleep. Come on, KP. That's too hard. I can't believe I'm telling you that something is too hard. That is entirely to say he got punked. That's harsh.
He did. He did. Look, let me explain something to you, Stephen A. When Kevin Durant sit up there and say that he was moving too fast, you know why he was moving too fast? Because the defense sped him up. You ever heard of that term? The defense sped him up. The intensity was there, okay? So then when you go to the other side of it about his missed shots, they got a term in the locker room. Make them miss. Don't hope that they miss. Meaning, it's a different type of contest. Meaning, I saw Al Horford. I saw Al Horford last night, late in the fourth quarter, switch out on Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant couldn't get separation to get his shot off. Again, when it mattered the most, and they went to KD, Jason Tatum blocked Kevin Durant's shot yesterday, and I believe it was twice. But Stephen A., I'm talking about the physicality. Did you see when Kevin Durant was running up trying to set the high pick and roll for Kyrie Irving, and they was trying to create the switch? And did you see the way that Jason Tatum was bodying him up to the front?
I've seen that before. Hold on. No, I've seen that before from Kevin Durant. I've seen it happen to him before. It didn't stop him from dropping 40. What I'm saying is, hold on. He's a skinny dude. So you're going to see moments in the game where something like that happens. My point is, it doesn't stop him from doing what he did. Well, let me throw this at you. I'm just looking at his numbers here. Kevin Durant in his career has played 939 games. He is a career 27-point-per-game scorer on better than 49% shooting, and doesn't look like he's gained a pound since he arrived in the NBA back in 2007. The brother is a skinny dude, so from a physical standpoint, you're going to see people try to push him around. My point is, it never stopped him. It never stopped him from doing what he does. The fact that he shot 9 for 24 yesterday afternoon, and just had a bad shooting game does not mean he got punked, KP. That's all I'm trying to say.
Stephen A., but we're not talking about his career. We're not talking about.
I just brought up yesterday.
But we're talking about yesterday. And so when I'm looking at yesterday, not his career, Kevin Durant yesterday, we have to give credit where credit is due to Jason Tatum, to Marcus Smart, and
they played good defense.
They got it. No, they played great defense, and it started with the physicality.
But wait a minute,
and he shied away from it. Let me tell you how disengaged Kevin Durant was. Okay? Did you see the last 10 or 15 seconds of the game?
Yeah, he blew the shot. He blew the shot on Jason Tatum.
First of all, he blew the offensive possession before that with a bad shot that he had to take a long contested three.
Yeah, but that was after Kyrie went around a double team and kicked it till with seconds left in the clock.
Because Stephen A., think about it. They was trying to get the switch and they couldn't because Jason Tatum physicality, the way they was bodying KD up, he couldn't get a good screen for Kyrie so he could come off to get the switch. And then on the defensive end,
But most of the people that go up against KD are either shorter, or smaller. Jason Tatum is one of those rare dudes, which is why we love him, because not only can the brother ball look at the size of him, he's a legit 6'9", and he's got an NBA physique, and he's got a long wingspan. So the problems that he can pose defensively are what other people can't pose. What I'm saying to you is good defense is good defense. Great defense is great defense. The Boston Celtics play great collective defense. That doesn't mean that Kevin Durant got punked. That's all I'm saying.
So Stephen A, are you sitting up here telling me that when it mattered the most yesterday, you trusted KD 100%? Are you sitting up here telling me that Kevin Durant was? Are you sitting up here telling me that Kevin Durant? Was Kevin Durant fully engaged yesterday? Was Kevin Durant fully engaged?
He had a bad game, KP. I know that. Let me ask you a question. Are you trying to tell me that late in the game, despite his struggles, you didn't trust Kevin Durant?
The defensive pursuit was there.
I'm going to tell you this, that late yesterday in the game, I wanted the ball in Kyrie Irving's hands. I tell you that much, and not Kevin Durant.
But that's because Kyrie Irving wasn't missing. I mean, my God, he wasn't missing. That's the reason why not only is he spectacular, but he had the hot hand. But that still doesn't answer my question. Are you saying that you did not trust KD in the fourth quarter, that you didn't trust him in a late game situation? Is that what you're saying?
Not yesterday, because I saw it in his body language, Stephen A. And you just said it. Look, you rolling your eyes, but you just said it. From the start of the game, when have we ever seen KD with those many turnovers? And we not going to sit up here and give credit to the Boston Celtics defense and the personality?
I saw KD in a game 6 in the Western Conference Finals against the Golden State Warriors come up small. I saw KD in a game 7 against the Golden State Warriors come up smaller than I thought he would. But the question is whether or not I have faith. I was shocked when I saw